very rocky, very steep, difficult with four-wheelers, blowouts, punches, tiring, hit the water, stone dead, burnt the clutch out. That's the race.
Tarkastad, 60 kilometers west of Queenstown in the Eastern Cape, venue for the second running of the Tarkastad 400 off-road race. The Settlers Off-Road Motor Club have produced a challenging setup for this one, and the Tarkastad heat will provide probably the biggest obstacle. It's a popular race with the local community, farmers making their private land available for the 200-kilometer circuit. The competitors will go round it twice in a clockwise direction. Joining us is Kenny Schulthammer, the acclaimed South African off-roader, having wrapped up virtually every race in the book in his career, including the Roof of Africa on 2 and 4 wheels. Kenny, nice to have you along.
Thanks, Glenn.
Kenny, pictures here of the day before the Friday, before the Saturday race.
This is the final prep, the scrutineering. You'll draw your race numbers, your start position. As there's no time trial this year, that means you have to go flat out for the duration of the race, and they recalculate the times at the end of the race.
Well, you know, it's the first race of the year, and I mean, everybody's always hungry for a win, and, you know, it depends who's had a good Christmas or not, and, you know, I'm just going to take each race as it comes and, you know, ride the race that I know that I can race, and hopefully it's going to be good enough for the win.
I reckon, yeah, by 7:30, 8 o'clock it's going to be pretty hot already.
And tactics for the race?
First event of the season, we've actually just got to go out and do our best. So there's not much that you can do other than just give it, you know, give it all from the beginning, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm ready. I've been training hard. I've been in the gym. Had a very bad start to the season last year. We actually missed out Tarkastad due to an injury. So I'm looking forward to this year. I'm going to go out there and take it easy. I'm trying not to hurt myself or anything. I'm going to try to be consistent this year.
Temperature's going to be a big factor today. It's like before 7 in the morning, it's already about 32 degrees. It's going to get about 37 degrees today. I think guys are going to get a big surprise out there because weather conditions are going to be very harsh. We're going to run out of water. People are going to be dehydrating. We're going to get very tired in the second loop when lunchtime comes. So it's going to be a hard day out there today.
Last year it was a 200cc class that I had a lot of competition, and this year I've got even more. I've got Daryl Curtis, Graham McLaughlin, and so forth, a lot of guys.
I've been riding bikes for 5 years, and I've been riding quads for 2 years. I want to finish, I don't want to win.
Temperatures are hot, and they're going to be a major telling factor there today.
Yeah. You ready? Fit well?
Yeah, put a lot of preparation in the car, put a lot of work in. We're ready to give it a go.
We're having to run the Class E car today, just for the first event, the diesel. And then from then on we'll have the V6 and we'll move to Class D. So it should be a very exciting year. We're really looking forward to it.
So here's the off on the Saturday.
Yeah. You'll see that there's only 1 minute intervals now, or 30 seconds between the guys. That's Richard Carolyn. And these are the champions from last year. This is the Chepik father and son combination. RP Reinecker, of course, the Class D champion from last year, will be challenged by Neil Woolridge in the Pajero this year, whose new car from Dakar is now landed, and it'll be ready for the Barbaspan 500.
You talk about Neil Woolridge coming back from Paris-Dakar, and we'll see Alfie Cox in this one as well. It must give them a tremendous boost. They come back, and no discredit to this particular race, but they come back feeling, hey, this is like a walk in the park for them.
Conditions are very different. You know, here they will experience a lot of rock, which they didn't experience in Dakar per se. Through Morocco it was quite rocky, but the rest of it, yeah, it is a bit of a time trial for the guys as such.
But again, as we'll see later on, the Tarkastad route does vary. You have lots of different types of terrain that the guys have to navigate on each 200-kilometer circuit. It's a nice test.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. You actually get, once you get out into the over the mountain range, you basically get out into desert conditions. But when you're in the mountains, it's very, very rocky, which you will see later on.
Now, already in the start here, Kenny, we can see the dust factor. And you were discussing that there hasn't been a time trial ahead of this particular event. And dust and that gap between competitors in the off that we're seeing here is crucial.
Oh, most definitely. They've done this to try and restrict the time that we actually take during the races. So the Friday is normally a time trial, Saturday race. But the guys are finding that with the economy the way it is, they're battling to get off for 3 days for the race.
So here we have, for example, bikes going off 2 at a time.
2 at a time, 30-second dust gaps. But those, as you see now, these guys, they're going to be scratching with each other for the duration of the day. The quicker guys will get into the front, but it does tend to be a problem because if you've drawn a low number...
for example, there, 316 going out on his own.
Right, he could be one of the quicker competitors. Okay, he then has to catch up to, say, Alfie or the leader at the time. And if he's drawn caught up to Alfie, he could just then ride on Alfie all day. And on adjusted time, he would be the winner.
Okay, we've seen the start, and again, you're very familiar with doing these sort of races. Does everybody get particularly excited at the start or say, hey, that's where all the camera guys are, that's where the crowd is, let's get the start behind me, let's get into the race proper? How do people feel about the start?
Well, the guys get pumped up. They really do get pumped up. There's a lot of guys at a TV, they go crazy with the TV cameras. I won't mention their names now, but there are definitely a few guys. And yeah, when there's a camera, the guys really get pumped up. Obviously, they make a lot of mistakes, but it's part of the deal.
But this is what it's all about, getting out into the open and doing your thing. Sure,
getting out in the open. When you are out there, there's nobody to assist you. The conditions don't allow for assistance, and neither do the rules. You're not allowed outside assistance. So basically, you start the race and you finish it under your own steam. This is Richard Caron. He's about to have a little bit of an oops. We'll discuss that with him later.
Now, what's happened here? I mean, that's a mistake. Whoa, in front of the TV cameras as well.
Most definitely, that's it. There's the perfect example. He overshot the turn. It's very difficult just to reverse these cars. Your vision behind you is very limited. So you see, he didn't try and reverse to try and make correct the mistake. That's the Chepik boys going past him. Now Richard actually started in front of the Chepik, so he now has to catch up. This is RP Reinicke.
Now again, he's avoiding the water there, unlike the previous competitor. Like rallying, do you have a navigation setup where you should know where this water's coming, or is it pretty much taking it as it comes in this sort of race?
You do have a route schedule, but it's not very detailed, so they wouldn't be showing that water. So, and Richard is in a single-seater, which means that he's just flying it by the seat of his pants, basically. You have no prior knowledge of the course. The course is marked with day-glow markers, which the organisers go out and stick up before the race. We have pre-run teams that go out on motorcycles, and they actually check the route that it's marked. So for a single-seater, the guys, and for motorcycles, the guys will be able to find their way around without a route schedule.
Well, you can see how much the dust and the heat, what sort of problems that's going to pose through the day, because this is only like 7:30 in the morning already, and these guys are going to be out here for 4 or 5 hours.
Right, and I believe the temperature was up to like 31 degrees already. This is Marius Perrine. He's in a unique American car. It's called a Mighty Mag. Initially it came out with a Yamaha 2-stroke engine. It's now got a Golf motor in it, so it's very competitive.
Here's a race car. We see so many of these vehicles in off-roading in South Africa.
Yes, definitely. They are the most competitive vehicles in the space frame category. Obviously, there are different derivatives of them, but the suspension...
What are the sort of things that South African riders do to them? Is it, you're talking suspension, engine, chassis? What things can be changed to the race cars?
Well, basically, you buy the chassis and you fit whatever motor you think is you would like to run, which makes it quite affordable because you're free to use any motor that you wish.
In terms of the rules of off-road racing, are there any limits to the type of engine you can put into it?
There are different categories. There's Class A, which is a 6-cylinder unlimited motor. The Class B, which is a 4-cylinder under 2 litre. Now this is Theo Kutsia. He's an artist from Bloemfontein.
What on earth is he doing in this event?
He's been competing for many years, and they've brought this vehicle in from America as well.
You talk about him being an artist. I mean, the sort of people who get involved in off-road racing, the image is big, brawny sort of guys, but I guess there's all sorts of people from all sorts of walks of life.
Yeah, sure. When I say he's an artist, that's just his hobby. He actually runs a transport business.
Okay.
Okay, this is RP Reinicke again, coming through the water hole. I think we're going to see quite a bit of this. You'll be able to see the different way various guys approach these crossings.
Again, the inherent danger is that you can plunge so hard into it, can you actually kill the motor in the water?
Most definitely. Most definitely. There is a technique to handle these type of things. A lot of the time the guys don't actually see what they're coming across. You know, the guys, they could be discussing something that's wrong with the car. And, well, there you see it. It looks like grass. It's not really. I think we'll be able to see a little bit of a problem here. He's got a gear selection problem, it looks like.
Again, because presumably the car has the capacity and the power to get him out of this mess.
No, sure.
But he's just, what, finding the wrong gears?
Well, he's either selecting the wrong gear or he has a problem. It looks like he's got a problem and he's going to need some assistance.
Assistance coming in, can the guys be taken from the water and continue on the event without penalty?
Sure, they're there to assist the competitors and to unblock the route, as it were.
And the unofficial Tarkastad emergency services doing a great job all day. I guess they were pretty busy, much like the drivers. This guy on his tractor was having a heck of a job all day.
Yeah, he's got to be more qualified than some of these drivers, it looks like.
Embarrassing them at the same time as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, this is BJ's farm, and his assistant's doing a great job. That's a Class C car, which is more of a budget vehicle, which is the same as this, which makes the whole racing more affordable. So you can come in at any level, which is a great thing about off-road.
The first 200-kilometer circuit complete then. Pit stop time, vitally important. First in is Richard Carolyn.
A couple of dips in the water, so that's not too bad. Car's going well. Back brakes, I think, are giving a bit of trouble.
With the race being so close, obviously races can be won or lost in this area. This is Franz Czepik, junior and senior. Always a major threat to everybody.
We were leading, but then we had a broken ignition wire. So it put us back about 5 or 10 minutes, but we're in the running. Everything seems under control. We've sorted it out.
Refilling the drinking water, most important. Alpi Reinicke and Robin Houghton.
Robin, I think we should change the tyre quickly.
The pits get quite hectic at this stage. There are marshals that adhere, check on your speed limits, and the guys are out of their vehicles when they're refueling.
We were going great. We passed quite a few guys. I think we were lying second. And about 10 k's out, we got a puncture. So we just quickly changed the spare wheel, have a look around, carry on.
There could be a star of the future, Bevan Bertolt, ex-Group N driver.
Route marking is fantastic.
Right.
I'd like to just thank Bux Carolyn from Lubrication Equipment for preparing my car so well. It's really going well. The temperature gauge I have to drive very slowly because it's getting hot all the time. So on the main straights I slow down, you know.
Tactics for second lap.
I'm going to take it one car at a time until I get to the front.
Okay, we've seen a number of the four-wheelers in terms of the motorcar categories, but now the four-wheelers, the quads, the motorcycles. Interesting category, and perhaps made famous in recent weeks by Vickers van Deventer at the Paris-Dakar, Kenny.
Yeah, it was unbelievable what they managed to do to finish the event and to actually win the quad category. It was unbelievable. For a first time out, it was great.
Just remind us, the quads, it looks like a motorcycle, it's almost a car. It takes a special person to ride it.
Yeah,